So first and foremost, I would like to thank Pam for calling me, giving me the opportunity to share about Rumah Tangsi. Can you hear right, Najib?
Yes, we can hear
Yes,
you.
all right, okay. So this morning, two of the speakers speaking about preservation of heritage, conservation. But however, this afternoon session is talking about more to adapting with the future memories. And I'm glad to be able to share on my journey in terms of creating, readapting the heritage placemaking in bringing heritage Rumah Tangsi to life. So a little bit about myself, I think Najib already told, this is some of my background, but I'm proud to be an e-commerce member. But throughout my journey as an architect, I am a multidisciplinary in many things, including content and branding. And this is my journey towards becoming a multidisciplinary architect. And today will be talking about some of the citizens' initiative in relations to assisting DBKL in activating Rumah Tangsi. Yeah? So my team my company is Citizens Lab, which is a digital agency and social community community agency where we assist local governments in terms of aligning themselves to SDG, and also we look into a lot of angles of sustainability and creative brandings. So my team consists of my partner Hafizuddin. He's a lawyer and a multimedia designer, and then Ghazi Mazlan, who is a well-renowned videographer for a lot of artists. He did for me. He did a lot of the fam, City, and then Nabila Razali, and then Amirul Naim Hashimo, which is one of my partners as well. Is actually looking into events. He specializes in a lot of concerts, and of course, Mariana Issa is my heritage advisor. And our approach is actually always looking into that approach where we combine bottom up and top down. So if you can see in this diagram, it's a top, is the top, and this is the bottom. So all the initiative, all the guidelines about smart city, SDG, and universal design, low carbon, is to the top where it needs to be trickled down to the bottom where all the execution is doing. So what my company does is we actually align this and bridge the gap between both parties, where we do what awareness, brand, execution framework, platform creation, and empowerment. Some of the things that we have done on community empowerment, provide smart partnership mechanism, awards, creative engagement framework, and then community capacity building. And this is some of the projects we've done over the 5 years. Proudly to say we have been assisting MBPJ in terms of doing the PJ Kita branding, and also envisioning the digital and physical planning of the branding towards the community. And then apart from that, we've been doing a lot of preaching. First time we presented to Selangor Plan Malaysia, where we had all the 12 PBTs on one site, one meeting. So that's quite amazing. But apart from that, we've been giving a lot of advocacy to all PBTs in Selangor. One of the other things that we are proud of is actually helping DBKL in terms of doing the Penjajaran project LA21, where we actually doing like usually architects, we are planners, they do a lot of plannings, but in terms of our work, we actually align all the potential policies or guidelines. In this case, we align DASA, Pembadaran, action framework, and many things. And then also the branding outreach, whether it's graphic or it's web apps. So when I was a little bit about our inspiration, one of my inspiration is I studied in Austria. So when I studied in Austria, we did a lot of visits. But this is one of the interesting place that was very close to my university, which is in Simmering, built in 1896. It's a gas chamber. But when I arrived, Kup Himoblau just finished completing it, adaptive reuse. I managed to actually went to the place, and it's a change of use from temporal events, activities, and also permanent programs. So this has inspired me a lot in terms of looking at the possibilities of heritage going to modernize activities. So in Kuala Lumpur, that spurs us ideas where we like to explore more about Kuala Lumpur heritage. In KL, there's a lot of heritage buildings, and if you can see, there's 3 categories. National heritage under category 1, category 2 is with significance, and category 3 is facade. So these are things that I think you can get it from DBKL. But what we were interested in is we were doing a lot of work for Majlis in terms of policy and digital, but we wanted to experiment in terms of how to implement it in physical. So Hans Rumah Tangsi, after work collaborating with DBKL and its association Ikatan. So working with DBKL is very, very beautiful because they are very, very cooperative and very helpful. And then at the same time, we have our placemaking framework where people always talking about placemaking in a physical manner. But in our company, we look into three forms, which is the physical, digital, and hybrid. So this is the framework we do where we advise local government in terms of discussion with the conservator on the legal parameters.
What happened? Rida?
Media outreach and then all other things. And hybrid is actually thinking of how to bridge this gap between both in the form of IoT, virtual reality, and many more. So hence, with this, we plan heritage partnership goals where we link with others. So another thing, we of course our team is full of professionals. So a lot of us we like to do a lot of reading. So if you want, you can download this from the internet. This book is very good. New Users Heritage Spaces in Australia, and then also this one is very good. Adaptive Reuse Industrial, where it starts to talk about the Burra charter process, where this is very, very powerful. You don't need to actually reinvent the wheel. In Australia, South Australia has done this about identifying, assess the significant research data gallery, develop policy, manage policy, and monitor review. And other things that you can actually refer for people that is interested is this is also very good, which is the Manitoba Guidelines, Conservation Technical Handbook by Ecomos, and then Guyana. I like Guyana specifically because it actually attempts to try to play around with a lot of heritage building in terms of its use. And then powerful literatures that I can share you that I've read in my journey to do Rumah Tangsi is about this attractive adaptive reuse, transforming heritage buildings, sustainable heritage management, community participation, heritage tourism, and built heritage maintenance. So there's a lot of journals or reference. But as Najib rightly put, the adaptive reuse for heritage asset, for the adaptive reuse. So our company have actually identified three types where there are heritage building which is public use, fully private, and also hybrid. In the case of Rumah Tangsi, we are actually hybrid, but you can actually start to categorize. And when you categorize this, you can start to see the activities, that possible type of activities that happens inside these heritage buildings, and the funding mechanism, because funding mechanism is very important to continue and create a sustainable business mechanism for the place. So in terms of government, and government will subsidize, and then also for public is government, and then for private will usually private manage, and then for commercial hybrid agreements between us where we contribute and DBK also contribute. So a little bit about this is I will share you some of my trade secrets when we started in the initial strategies. So a little bit about history of Rumah Tangsi, history of Rumah Tangsi. Yes. So it was before, as Najib said just now, it's house of Loke Choket, and then transformed into a hotel, and then subsequently DBKL refurbished it. Then the PAM building, and then subsequently DBKL refurbished it, and then after that we made it into a community hub for the public. The idea is actually to give everyone opportunity to use this building. So the heritage activation strategy was quite simple because DBKL has done all this from number 0 to number 6, where asset intervention strategy, building registration, develop sign, planning the physical intervention, physical handover, and then it came back to where we are to actually activate in terms of maintenance and prevention, and also heritage education dissemination to link back with the community. Yeah. Some of the strategies we put, this is something that you can actually put. This is things that we did in terms of a lot of designing. It's not so much about designing the building, but actually designing the programs, the objective policies, sustainable business models, maintenance strategy, content outreach, collaborative strategies, and adaptable to change. These are 6 points which I think that is very important in terms of managing an event space. So for Rumah Tangsi, our objective is very simple. Going back to the Bureau Charter, was our policy is very simple. Rumah Tangsi Sustainable Heritage Community Hub, the only gazetted heritage building that can be publicly used and inclusive for all, meaning that everyone can come and actually come and use the building, but with proper arrangement with us. We will interview the users. Our platform links with many things. Look into heritage modernization, cultural lifestyle, local promotion, entertainment, tourism, and of course, SDG. This is the collaboration because once you started collaboration, the first thing you need to running this the space, heritage space, is you need to identify the collaborators and what is their role. So this is a good framework where we actually design in terms of the first pillars, which is the vision. You identify everything and who is you can access, and then comes the two execution where digital and physical comes in. About digital, looking into digital platform, web management system, and who's the target market audience, physical, seminars, entertainment. From there, you can actually plan the activities.